Hello traders, welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 192. It's Iliya here, and you know what we're going to be doing in this video, having a look at the markets, how they developed this week, what kind of opportunities we had, and most importantly, what we can expect for the upcoming week. Now, this week was kind of like last week. As you can see immediately from the Dixie, we're having another kind of choppy price action week and still inside bars. There were some other pairs that had a really big risk on sentiment that they started pushing up, like the NZD, for example. But overall, not a great week again. We just had like one day moved up, one day moved down, one day moved up, and then we were just like chopping around. Luckily for me, my week is profitable. Of course, I just took one loss and one win. Risk to reward ratio did the job to finish profitable. But overall, for the month, I'm going to be finishing at a loss because I started the month with a big losing streak, right? I was taking quite a few hits here and there. But of course, that's perfectly fine because, again, we still have lots of months to go. How many months is we're going to be entering into the 5th month, so 5 and 2 more. Yeah, we have still 7 months to go. So again, if you're having a losing day, a losing week, or even a losing month, guys, there is always time ahead. All right, so just keep executing the plan, and risk to reward ratio is gonna take care of itself. So if you're new to this channel, it's all about trading. I share these weekly outlook and setups every Saturday, and once per week I give my best to share an educational piece of content or a trading setups breakdown video. So make sure you're subscribed and turn on the notification bell in order not to miss those. And if you already did, let's head into the video. Alright, as always, we're gonna get started with a Dixie, but first of all, let me just take you to the economic calendar because next week we're having a huge week. So Monday starts with a bank holiday for pretty much for Europe and for a lot of countries, but it looks like the US is active. They have manufacturing PMI, very important. And we're getting started with interest rate decisions this week. So right, this is an interest rate decision week, which means volatile, manipulative, and quite risky to trade, right? So Tuesday starts with an RBA interest rate decision, and what we have is also CPI for the euro. I mean, that is huge, massive combination. On the next day, we're having Fed interest rate, press conference, monetary policy statement. Very, 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 very important. And not to say services PMI and employment change, and also for the NZD, right? That's Wednesday. Thursday, right? Euro interest rate, press conference, right? Friday, non-farm payrolls and retail sales for the euro. So absolutely red week. So you decide what you're gonna do. Are you going to be trading? Are you going to be forcing things? Are you going to be stopped out by manipulation? Are you going to try to capitalize on all those news? You decide, right? Because again, you are in control of your own trading business. So you decide what to be doing during this week. Personally, I'm going to be checking up in the morning to see what we have. I'm going to be having some good friends visit me over here. So I'm going to be taking them away. We're going to be traveling like Amsterdam and some other cities. So probably I'm not going to be very active. But I would prefer not to be very active because in weeks like this, you're getting a lot of volatility, you're getting a lot of big spikes up and down, and maybe it's not going to be great. But of course, who knows? We might get textbook setups that are supported by the interest rate and we can have like some big profits. But usually this is not the case because when interest rates come out, spread increases, wicks are thrown, and you're most likely going to get stopped out. Okay, so don't gamble your capital. So zooming in, as you can see on the Dixie, I mean, last thing we did right there was take the liquidity below this low, and then we came in and take the liquidity below this low right there. And then since then, we have been chopping for 2 weeks, right? So what we have is a mother candle high, mother candle low. So we're having 2 inside bars right now. Okay, so again, why? Well, as I showed you, Fed interest rate decision next week. Okay, and this is what usually happens when you have an interest rate decision. The market starts to chop. And if you just have a look at the daily, well, the daily has been clean, right? The daily, we're still staying within this supply right there. The market is still bearish, but then we had a very nice push down with 3 candles. We had a really nice pullback with 2 candles. Then since then, like since April 18th, nothing, right? Down, up, down, little down, down, up a little bit. No clear direction, right? What we forecasted last week was that we're going to be coming in to take this sort of liquidity. This one did not happen. And again, as you can see, like came in, reacting double top, boom, 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 boom. It kind of made this push down and made this push up, then made this push down, and then it started slowly to come back up. It almost came in to grab this liquidity, stopped, and again reacted from the top. So the Dixie is just building liquidity right now. So pretty much it's very tricky, guys, because if we're having interest rates and expectance, right, the market is gonna chop, so you're gonna have stop losses. And then if you trade during interest rate, you're also gonna get stop losses. So when is the best trade? When the best trade is actually when the interest rate news are out, when you have a clear bias, and then you just have to focus on, okay, how do I flow with the market and with that current flow that is being introduced by the news? Okay, so again, I cannot say anything about this right now, right? We can of course have a look that there was a break of structure down and there was a break of structure up right there. But what is it doing right now? I mean, according to me, as we spotted last week, this is still what we have. Low, high. So if this right there is a trend change, right, this is what caused the trend change. We don't have a higher low right there. So that's the low, that's the high. We pull back 50% and we're technically reacting from this whole buy to sell to buy area right there. And again, it does make sense for us to come and take out this high. So I am not going to be throwing a big forecast right there. This is how I look at the structure in terms of the daily. Okay. That's the daily. The fall is a little bit bullish, right? We have seen that the market is failing to actually break below this low, which really makes me think that this is a really good liquidity point. So if you want to trade, well, I think you can definitely have that little bit of a bullish bias coming into this liquidity gap, and then from there see what's going to happen. But again, interest rate decision was on Wednesday, right? And we have Euro decision on Tuesday and also Aussie on Tuesday. So again, Monday could be choppy, maybe just staying within this consolidation, or it might come in to hunt the high. Okay, it really depends on what is going to happen. And then of course after this we just have to adapt and we just have to wait for the news. Okay, so fanatics, don't force it, don't try to trade too hard. Be aware what kind of week we're coming into. So be aware that we're currently having a big consolidation and we're about to be having some breakouts next week. So let's see. Don't have any expectations because again, anything could happen and we're most likely gonna have big wicks and validating everything. So let's see. All right, let's have a look at Mr. Euro USD. So what I see immediately is that we also had an inside bar last week, but instead of actually having another one like we had on the Dixie, we actually came on and broke the previous weekly high, which again is a divergence. Like you can see, this one broke. So the Dixie should have broken to the downside, but it did not. It was actually inside. So that is rather strange. But again, I have to study this kind of divergence between the Dixie and the Euro. I know it's a thing, but again, you don't want to make it too complicated. So if we zoom in again, we remember that we are overall having a bullish weekly bias. That was the demand zone right there. We came on and we broke structure right here. The market then had a little bit of a pullback. So it's a big question right now to say, is this a valid higher low or not? Right? To me, it's really not. I mean, this is just a little base. It's not like a clean pullback to really solidify a good higher low formation. So we can say that there is a break of structure up right there, and probably if I go on the daily, there will be some sort of a break, because you can see the Euro has been bullish on the daily for quite some time. Like since we shifted here, that's a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, low, high, low, high, low, high, right? So absolutely bullish on the daily, which is again the main bias that we try to follow. We broke structure up right there. Again, it definitely doesn't look strong, right? It came in, wicked it out, and then we just had 2 consecutive days that did not continue to break up. But again, what I'm just going to say is that this, to me right now, is going to be the major daily higher low. And I'm just going to draw a little demand like this. So we kind of already came to retest it. Then we broke, right? And then right now we're pulling back again. So rather tricky price action. As I told you, like Monday went bullish, Tuesday bearish. Wednesday went bullish, Thursday bearish, and Friday kind of, yeah, I didn't know what's happening on Friday. So then jumping on the 4H, well, I mean, it's tough, right? It's really tough to read. I took a loss on Monday following my bias because at that time, well, this was my major lower high formation, but I pretty much knew, I think I definitely could have skipped that trade, but again, it was according to the rules, so I had to take it because that was a supply. The market came in and it just kept taking the sells, right? But it never broke. So what happens when you take out all the sells from a supply zone? Well, it runs out of steam and then it just ends up breaking, right? So I definitely could have skipped that trade, but I did not. So following my plan, the market expanded. Then it went on and took out this low. Then it went on and took out that major high. Okay, then it went on and took out this low. Then it went on and took out this high. All right, so you can see the market is not trending right now. It's just taking liquidity from the buy side, sell side, buy side, sell side, buy side, right? And this is just textbook ranging market preparing for next week's interest rate decisions. Okay, so even if I look at it right now extremely objectively, I mean, this is where we had a break of structure, then the market pulls back. This is not really a trend change right there because our valid structure is right there. Okay, it's not this, right? But this was very nice liquidity, but it was not the valid higher low formation. We went on and pushed up, then we created another. Okay, why is this here? We created another structure. Oh, come on. There's another structure break right there. And then you can see as we broke, the market then came in and kind of wigged the low, right? Then what caused this low to be taken? It was this, and then the market immediately goes and wigs the high, right? So you can see textbook choppy market. So currently, well, what I'm going to say currently is that, yes, currently we are bullish. Like this is the last 4-hourly alignment. We have this push. The market is already in a little bit of a pullback. So I would say I am bullish right now on the euro. But again, knowing where we are on the weekly, I mean, we are a little bit high, just making that big high. I do think we can have a little pop to the downside with interest rate. And you can see like on the weekly candles, there is no imbalance. There is no momentum right there. I mean, compare it to a push like this, really showing us like where the market is going. Or here, like massive bearish candles leaving imbalance. This one is kind of wick up, down, wicks, very, very, very slow. Again, April was very slow. So I would expect right now on the interest rate decision to have some momentum and to finally kind of give a direction. I do suspect we might also have some bearishness kick in, okay, because looking at how kind of the market is starting to get weak to the upside. But again, this is just me brainstorming and trying to forecast. Again, and I don't like forecasting. I just like to say, okay, well, the market is doing this, I'm going to do this. So yeah, currently, again, as I said, it's bullish on the Forex. So if we come in towards this demand zone, we can definitely consider some longs. But personally, I would be really careful and potentially even skipping trading right now until the interest rate, because I want to get clear markets and I want to start my month good this time. Okay, so if you want to be profitable, then you have to pick your trading times, right? Is the next week good? Not really. So if you take your trading seriously, right, but you only take your trading seriously when you actually have a good capital. Because again, according to me, also capital matters. When I was trading a small account, like $1,000, I was like, yeah, I have to trade because I have to make money. But now that I trade a 5-figures account, it's fine, right? I can skip. But still, I sometimes also am like, okay, well, I have to be trading every day. If the setup comes in, I'm going to take the setup. But again, just some days is just not for trading. Okay, so this is, again, just your experience talking. You're going to be learning when to trade, when not to trade, what is good to trade, what is bad to trade. And also when it comes also to your strategy, you're going to know, okay, this day just does not look good. Okay, but again, there is a very big balance right there of what actually looks good. Okay, and that looks good. Okay, what is good and what looks good? Is there a system? Is there a plan, right? Does your plan get ticked? Yes, well then just freaking take the trade. Okay, so enough of my rant, right? This is just all experience. This is my current state, which is why I'm so passionate about it, because at my time, I really have that experience, but I'm trying to find the balance between my intuition and my system. Because sometimes my intuition tells me this trade is not going to work out, but my system tells me take it, right? And there are numerous times like I'm not going to take it, it's going to work out, or I'm going to skip it, then it's going to work out, right? So it's all about balance. Let me just quickly show you my trades for this week. I took a short trade on Monday, and then I took a short trade on Thursday. So yeah, quite a big gap, but there was nothing in between. So yeah, this trade, as I told you, definitely could have been skipped because I was just seeing like all of this choppiness right there and the market trying to sell, but it never managed to actually sell off. But again, this was on Monday. Again, why do I trade on Monday? I don't know, right? The market opened trending, pushed up, TC down, and then of course I took it from the last TC right there, which pretty much took out Asian low, gave us like a little bit of a liquidation right there, tapped into something right there on the left and just expanded. So it was a little bit of a stupid trade, and I knew this one is not going to work out. So this is where I speak about intuition and your setup, right? The market broke down, we were still bearish on the FOH, so check on the FOH, check on the 15-minute, 1 minute, right? The market came in, grabbed the liquidity, provided me the trend change, so all my rules are here. Okay, I knew it's not going to work out, but all the rules are there, so I took it, boom, immediate stop loss, right? Then I felt a little bit stupid, but it is what it is. So that's my first trade for this week. And then, of course, I was looking to take longs, but guess what? When the market then goes, it goes, and it's not going to wait for you, right, to take your long. Then the next trade was a little bit better because this time we took liquidity from the upside. We violently rejected and caused a trend change. Okay, so then the market gave us that little bit of a pullback, and here we actually had a trend established. Okay, and then here we had liquidity on our side. The market took out Asian high, trend change, lower high, break of structure, confirming that downtrend. We pull back and we just simply made a new lower low. Simple, very nice. And again, we came in with the news and then just dropped, right? So if I just go on the 1 minute, again, we had a 50-minute supply. We had the hourly confluence as well. The market came in right there. So I'm going to ask you guys, right? So if you watched my video series, what is this? I'm not going to tell you. I leave it to you. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this, what is this price action right there and why you shouldn't be taking a trade from here. Let me know in the comments. The market came back, TC, entry. In this case, I am getting tired of tight stop losses. So instead of having my stop loss 5 pips right there, I just had a kind of a 6.9 pip stop loss right there, something like this. The market kind of retested the entry a couple of times and then it just dropped. And in this case, I did a little mistake maybe. Because usually my TPs happen before the low is taken. So like somewhere right there as the market is pushing, right? But this time the TP happened like my TP is 3R, right? So it actually reached 3R at the end, but you can see like very, very, very kind of risky. So I just took my trade at 2.2R. I took a partial there, then I left a little bit and I think I took another one right there. But yeah, I was just happy. I took the trade. I covered my loss for this week. I had a little bit of profit and just called it a week. So those are my 2 trades. I did not trade US30 this week. I did not trade NASDAQ, although we're currently looking at those pairs. NASDAQ gave my team a couple of stop losses this week. It was not behaving great. US30 gave a couple of TPs. So again, it's all about the current market sentiment. So that's my performance this week. That's EU. Let's jump on to EUR-yen. All right, look at that. And this is where you have to be also fluid and jump on the right markets to trade. I mean, EUR-yen has been bullish for quite some time, coming in from this major weekly higher low, pulled back all the way down and then it started rejecting, and it has been bullish all the time on the weekly, and it just came on and made this weekly break. Okay, so right now our major weekly higher low is here. The market is currently extended, so we have 2 things to do: either keep following it until we're wrong or start waiting for the pullback. Okay, so weekly definitely bullish. Dropping on the daily is also bullish. Like the last structure break is here. You can take a demand like this, a big demand zone. But yeah, this one kind of expanded on Friday, right? So you can see like Monday bullish, bearish, inside, and then we expanded on Friday. So I mean, the move looks great, but it happened with some news, right? You can see 3 o'clock, massive wick down, and then it just started expanding. So I guess you might have not caught this trade. And yeah, you can see the other type of price action right there. I mean, where did we open? Yeah, Monday right there, pushed up, pushed down, chop, 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 and then expansion. So I don't even think this one was tradable, because we kind of had also this. Yeah, here is a break up, then we have a breakdown. We also had that little bearish kind of bias, right? And you can see the market kind of came in, reacted, and then it just started chopping, and then news came out and just threw this massive wick, and then it just started expanding. Okay, so actually, in all honesty, it doesn't look very tradable to me, EUR-yen. I mean, here you could have had a couple of shorts. Maybe I indicated this on Tuesday. There I see this, there is a short right there, roll down, and then the next days there is a long right there, right? Then maybe a short right here, right? So there were a couple of trades, but not very clean, not very good. So currently, well, we're definitely bullish, even in terms of the hourly structure. That is going to be the low. All right, you're having a trend change right there. And then, of course, you can take a demand zone like this. And let's see what's going to happen. I mean, right now it's at the high. So again, you have 2 choices. You either drop to the 50-minute and you keep following it until you're wrong. Because when you're wrong, you know that maybe a higher high is formed and you might start taking it down, right? And then potentially go back up again. But again, with all the news that are incoming, I wouldn't throw any forecast. But there's your EJ. Okay, not very good. We're at a higher high right now. So let's see what's going to happen next week. Next on the list are the Aussies. Let's have a look what is happening right here, where again you can see same thing, and even in here in terms of the weekly time frame, I mean, we kind of broke down right there. Last thing we did is a break of structure on the weekly with this bearish engulfing candle, and since then we've been chop, 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 wick up, wick down, wick up, wick down. This week we had a little bit of bearishness. It definitely looks like we're going to be going on and making a new weekly lower low, which is then going to make this our weekly lower high. So let's see, hopefully that happens. And again, guys, don't forget we're having interest rate on Tuesday. So that is going to really shake the market. So don't forget about that. Dropping to the daily. Oh yeah, you can see daily is absolutely choppy. Right, we came on, we broke the high, then we broke the low, and then we came on and we broke the high, and then we broke the low, right? So again, just taking liquidity from up and down, up and down, up and down. But again, yeah, the last kind of thing we did is we broke structure down right there. Currently, like, this is our daily lower high. So daily is definitely bearish. We're tapping like some sort of an old demand right there. But again, you can see there is no imbalance. There is no momentum right here within all of that move. It's just chopping. It's just cooking for something. And then of course, if I just transfer onto the 4-hourly time frame, you can see, I think being an Aussie trader in this sort of period right there in April might have been a little bit tough. There are probably some good intraday trades, right? But in terms of hard time frame, I mean, you never got like a real follow through in terms of the foliage, right? It never actually started trending and then just trending, okay? But hopefully we're gonna have that soon. So currently, again, if I just, this is what I do, right? I'm not even gonna look at weekly and daily 4-hourly time frame. What it did last thing is it broke structure down. What caused the break? It's this. Of course, you can see the engulfing candle. No, okay, so maybe 5-hourly. Yeah, you can take, like, I would like to take personally these 2 candles because it looks good. I want to take bigger zones, right? The market is currently tapping in, so right now you have to drop to the 50-minute time frame and wait for the 50-minute to align and give you a clear indication of trend. You would also maybe like to see this one being taken because that's a fake supply. The market comes in, rejects, right? So hopefully we can have like a push like this and then give you an alignment and then you can take a short. So if this was like a regular trading day, this is what I would be looking for. Okay, so that's my Aussie. I'm bearish right now. Of course, it looks a little bit low right now, right? So if you overall count this overall range, right? So right now we're at the lower portion of the range. So it can definitely go long, right? But again, I'm just gonna follow the 4-hourly time frame right now. It's very close to taking out this low. Like that's the massive weekly low. It kind of stopped and rejected. Why? I don't know. So let's see. But again, interest rate decision on Tuesday. So I wouldn't touch it as much, but of course if on Monday you get some sort of a short right there, it could be good. But I will not be surprised if it then again takes out the buy side and then it just starts doing shit and then it goes on to take out the sell. Okay, so be careful, but this is currently how the Aussie looks like. And yeah, it looks like we're having some sort of a JPY expansion on Friday, so maybe there was some news. We're gonna check out USDM. This one broke structure down. There's our weekly lower high, so bearish on the weekly. Daily, where did you shift? There, it shifted. Push, higher low. Well, it came on and made a new higher high. All right, and then did it actually? Yeah, I mean, this one on the daily is actually respecting so far. I mean, we're bearish on the weekly, but the daily shifted bullish. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And right now looks like it wants to expand to make another daily higher high. Okay. But I guess this one happened on Friday again. So yeah, you can see the price action even on this one. It was looking really... First, we started with a little bit of longs right there. So like push, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then we kind of reached this point where we sold off. And again, what is this? No, that is... Oh, wait a second. That is already last week. So there is Monday. So yeah, what I actually told you is when you have that first trend change, don't expect a big pullback. You can only get like a 30% pullback. Then it just massively drops and it taps inside this daily demand zone. And again, you are still kind of short bias, right? But then again, the market just starts massively rolling up. So currently, just looking at this price action right there and exactly like this kind of V right there, not clear. We don't have any levels. So what I would be looking for is like for a new structure to form and then maybe trade from that structure or just wait for the market to take out the high and then see what's going to happen. Okay, because currently, like, yeah, to me, this one, you can definitely say that it's a lower high, but to me, this one was the actual lower high. It broke. What caused the break? Well, pretty much... You can track it all the way back down to here because it's not this wick, it's not this, so pretty much is the low, okay? And you're not going to be looking for the market to pull back all the way down to give you a long trade, okay? So it's probably going to give you a little bit of a pullback, right? And then just continue to expand higher. So I am bullish on Aussie JPY and bearish on Aussie. So definitely big divergence, but again, the JPYs are probably right now influenced by UJ, which we're going to have a look in a second. Okay, so Aussie dollar looks a bit better, but we're having interest rate decision coming up. So pretty much what I'm going to advise you is to wait for the interest rate decision and then see what you can strike on. All right. Let's have a look at the NZDs. In terms of the weekly time frame, we're having a nice bullish candle, right? Not very strong, not very weak as well. And again, you know that here on the weekly time frame, we shifted bearish structure right here. That is our lower high. The market looks like it pulled back above 50%, and right now it's trying to push down towards the week low on the weekly. So is this week just a little pullback in order to continue crushing to the downside? Well, hopefully. If we drop to the daily time frame, I mean, the daily is looking tough, but yes, we aligned the daily structure somewhere right there. could be here, it could be right there. The market pulled back to retest the zone, and then it continued to break on. So this is like a break right there. This is also a break right there. And then the question is this here a valid one? Is it the break? I don't think so. I would still take this one. It definitely looks like a more prominent pullback apart from this kind of base and then just dropped, right? So I would say that this is still the daily, okay? And then of course this one can be utilized as liquidity, which is just about to be taken. So this is the daily, and then when we jump to the 4-hourly time frame, everything is gonna change because the 4-hourly it's probably gonna be bullish. Well, no, this one, again, this one is not valid according to me. So still we are trading above this one. So if this one breaks, that is when the forward is going to turn bullish. Okay. Tough market, this one. It's tough market because again, we were bearish since here. This is the high, this is the low. The market pulled back, beautiful lower high. It dropped lower, but then again, pretty much this week, if you didn't trade on Tuesday right there to take this short, you were just stuck in this kind of range, maybe with a short bias, but the market actually didn't go short. So right now it's going to turn bullish on the 4H. It's going to do maybe something like this. And then here, it's really key to see what is going to happen right there. Okay, are we going to have a bearish alignment on the 4-hourly time frame, or are we just going to keep pushing up? Okay, if you keep pushing up, then keep following the 4H because the daily could fail. Okay, but if you start having a bearish market structure on the 4H, then go short with confidence because we're still in the daily zone. Okay, so that's NU. Okay, not clear. I'm not gonna trade it. Again, this Friday momentum is kind of came out of nowhere, right? So I'm gonna be looking for it to align. We also have some NZD news. No, we have employment change and unemployment rate on Wednesday. Okay, but of course, the NZD is also gonna react with the Aussie's interest rate. So again, be careful. This is how I look at it right now. Okay, 4-hourly time frame is technically still bearish from here. But I wouldn't really short it from there, right? So wait for this one to break, hopefully give a little reaction, break, and then if it aligns down, that is when I'm going to be interested to short, okay? And if not, just keep following the bullishness. I mean, yeah, look at that. So there is definitely something going on. Let me actually go and check out what happened on, this was yesterday. So yesterday we had, so that's an important thing that I've missed. Interest rate decision for Bank of Japan. I mean, they don't do anything. They didn't change anything, but just having the interest rate and press conference, that is what drove all the JPYs. Now I see. Okay, I knew there was something going on, but I didn't know what it is. So this one in terms of the weekly, I mean, it's absolutely choppy right there. But still, like, this is the weekly lower high formation. The market is currently testing it again. Look at all those wicks right there. Wick. All of them are getting collected right now. So is the market gonna sell off or is it gonna break? Like, that's the big question. Daily time frame is bullish probably. I mean, if you look at the daily, it aligned bullish right there, and then it pulls back. It actually tapped into what caused it to be bullish. This guy, right? And right now it attacks and makes a new high. If you really want me to be precise, this is where we broke, and then again you decide if this is your break, where it's not this, because that's the last pullback, right? This is your last pullback. Oops, what am I doing? This bullish candle is your last pullback before we actually then went on and broke structure down. Okay, so your break should be technically right there. What caused the break? It's this. Then the market chopped around. It's still retained below this high. Pulls back, and right now it actually made a new high. So let's see, I mean, very similar to what I showed you on NZD/USD. Right now we're taking out this big liquidity right there. So what is going to happen? Is it going to align bearish and go with the weekly bias, okay? Or is it going to just continue to push up? We don't know, so give it some time. Currently, absolutely not tradable. You're in a massive push up. All right, so anything could happen. It can just continue driving higher. It can start reversing down. We don't know. Okay, so give it some time, wait for clear structure, and just wait for your trading plan to develop. Okay, so nothing much to say about this one. I really like this weekly zone. I really like how it formed with this kind of range, manipulated, initiated. So right now it's coming back to hopefully mitigate and continue going down. Let's see. Okay, let's see. But currently, if you just want my view, again, the 4-hourly time frame shifted bullish right there. So the market is right now bullish. Okay, what I would love to see, pullback, high, break, retest, hold, and then potentially go down. So that's the NZDs. Let's have a look at UJ. All right, let's have a look at UJ. So again, we have been having a look at this level for quite a while. That is the current weekly lower high. And again, as you can see, the market came in right there. It looked like it wants to respect beautifully. It pushed down very nicely, but it did not go on to take out the low, and right now it's coming in back. Okay, so two things are gonna happen. We're either gonna have a break, okay, because technically right now this high is a weak high. Why? Well, because it fails to cause any break of structure to the downside. So we're either gonna come in, utilize this as liquidity, and then continue going lower. But we're also so close to this high that I think we might actually go in and break it. Or the second thing is we're just pulling back for a little bit of a liquidity grab. This happens sometimes, and then we're just gonna continue going lower. So we can see this maybe from the daily or from the FOH. Well, yes, I mean, you can see pre-interest rate, just chop, 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 chop. But again, the daily bias was bullish. So you can see the daily bias again prevailed. That is the daily higher low demand. This is where we shifted bullish right there. So if I just take this, break of structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And right now we have a higher high. So again, beautiful, beautiful structure. We have that last higher high. And yeah, right now we're just on a massive push phase. So what can you do? Well, nothing. You just have to wait. Okay, we just have to wait because again, our major kind of, higher low is all the way down there. So you're not going to be looking for the market to pull back down there. No, absolutely bonkers. No, right? So you're going to be looking either to take a short trade right now based on the 15-minute shift of structure, or you're going to be looking for the market to pull back, higher high, then continue to follow the range, or for it to break down, lower high, and then hold. Okay, this depends on what is going to happen right here. So I really like this again, range, manipulate it, initiate it. There is also that little sort of liquidity area right there, like a fake supply. So let's see if it's gonna go on, take out this high maybe, and then start reversing. So UJ, after the interest rate, right now it's actually wait to see, okay, is it gonna continue going up or is it gonna shift down? And then you keep following the trend, okay? Because the interest rate is out right now, so there is nothing to cause the market to chop around. So right now we have clear direction, which looks like it's to the upside. So again, ignore this on the left. I mean, if the market just keeps trending higher, well, keep trending with it. Because if I just right now, so again, of course, listen to this analysis. This is very important because again, weekly is still bearish. But if I just remove this and do this, right? So what I do is this, right? So what happened? Well, we caused the breakup. What caused the breakup? What was this thing? So what am I biased? Bullish. So what I can do right now is I can try to take a short towards the 50% and then go long, or I wait for a new range to form and I keep going long. That's it. Okay. And this is like the first push. So don't expect a 50% pullback. Expect like a little bit of a 30% pullback, and then probably it's going to start rolling to the upside. So let's see, that's UJ, very bullish, which is also impacting all the other JPY pairs. So I'm very curious to see if this one is going to persist or if we're going to start having a bearish alignment. Why? Because we're sitting in a massive weekly supply. So let me know, guys, what you think about USDN. USD CAD, let's have a quick look at the pair that I never understand. So right now we have been kind of in this, let's just say it's a range, right, on the weekly time frame. It very nicely pushed up. Okay, so this is our weekly. You can decide whether you take this one as your weekly low or higher low, or this one. Personally, I like this one better, right? We pushed up, we pull back, it tries to push higher, it failed. It tries to push higher, it fails, right? I still see like we have an ascending trend line right there. So buyers look like are still in control, but when are they gonna push up? Okay, so weekly time frame looks in a range. Daily time frame was really bearish. We kind of reached this top, then we aligned bearish, like lower low, lower high, lower low, but then all of a sudden we shift bullish. Okay, so what do we have right now is we have a bullish market, okay? And that is our daily higher low formation. So what happens right now is that when we transfer on the 4H time frame, the market was massively bullish, and in order for the daily to make a pullback, the 4-hourly time frame has to change. Okay, so there is our change on the 4H with a beautiful range, manipulate it, and then it dropped lower. So technically right here, guys, so I get this ask a lot, okay, what is a liquidity gap? What is a structure break? At the time when this happened, I marked this one as a structure break. All right, and then what I do is, okay, what caused a structure break? It's this. So then what I do is I wait for the market to retest that area, right? But then it just blasted through it. Okay, you did not get an entry at all right here. Not even like a rejection candle. So then what I can say, all right, well, right now, what we simply have is a break of structure down, like a trend change. It's not a break of structure, it's a trend change, right? But right now, when this happens, now you can say, all right, so it was a nice range, manipulated down. So you can see here, we actually had a breakup, a breakdown, a breakup, and then a breakdown. So this is textbook manipulation, okay? The market wicked up, and then it wicked down. So this is right now a liquidity grab, but the liquidity grab for me is after the fact. Okay, it's usually really hard, according to me, to actually spot, okay, what is a liquidity gap and what is not. Because here, you also had a break of structure. Why is it not a liquidity gap? Here, you also had a break of structure. Why is it not a liquidity gap? Right here, you also had one. It just continues to go on, right? And usually, yeah, what I've spotted is that those kind of things will happen when the daily like is expanded, or when one of the time frames is like the position where there is a high likelihood of the market reversing. So there's our trend right now. I mean, I would like to take like a ISO zone. Yeah, we can take this one. It's very big, but this is the first trend change. So don't expect a very big pullback. Expect like something, maybe just a retest of this low right there. And then the market will continue falling down potentially. So right now what I want you to test out is drawing all the demand zones on the left that you have, right? Which are probably going to be like reaction points if the market is going to go bearish and maybe pull us back deep onto the daily. So this is where we tap in right now. We're going to have a reaction. It's going to maybe form a lower high and then drop. So let's see, that's UCAD. It looks bearish bias. I don't remember if we have CAD news next week. I don't think so, but we have USD news next week, which is going to indirectly impact USD CAD, right? So let's see. But this is how I currently look at it. It's bearish. So if we get any pullback, then shorts are high probability, knowing that we're extended on the daily and we're maybe due for a daily pullback. So let's see, and let me know what you think about UCAT in the comments. All right, we are at the GBP. So last week, what I told you we had is an inside bar. So there's the mother candle high, the mother candle low, and usually like the breakout makes sense to go in the overall trend. And we broke out to the upside. So we broke out the high. We have a very nice bullish weekly candle. So definitely looks bullish on the weekly. Dropping on the daily, you can see again that kind of same move happened on Friday. And in the meantime, right there, we were pretty choppy, right? And then I'm just gonna have a look on the foliage because I mean GU looks very, very tough right now. If we are extremely honest, you can see all the candles right there, they just kept making low, so there is no prominent pullback right there. So pretty much like our lower high was here. All right, and that was our range. The market kind of pull back, tried to push, failed, pull back, tried to push, fail, pull back, tried to push, fail, pull back, tried to push, fail. And then again, eventually when all the sell orders are taken, but the market does not commit, it ends up breaking up. Okay, so just to keep it very, very, very simple right now on GU, well, according to me, this is where we have the break of structure. What caused the break of structure? Well, it's this overall range, right? So that is our volatile high low, volatile high. What can you do? Well, you can either wait for new ranges to form and go long, or you can drop to a lower time frame and try to trade the pullback. As simple as that. So I'm not going to be throwing any hard time frame analysis here. I mean, just follow the flow, right? That's the flow. Broke up, right? Sells failed. Buys are in control right now. Of course, buys can also fail, right? I'm not going to be surprised at all if this is manipulation and the market just goes down. Okay, but again, at this current time, we're bullish, so I'm going to be looking for longs. So that's GU, extremely simple. And yeah, you can see also GJ, and just rocketed up with that interest rate decision on for the JPY. And again, let's not forget that the weekly time frame on GJ is bullish, tapped in, and it's just kind of, yeah. So if you just longed right there, I mean, you're looking good in terms of the weekly, but it's gonna take you months and months and months to develop. The daily time frame aligned here, and yeah, broke up, broke down, bullish, bullish, bullish. Well, yeah, I think the last kind of higher low we had was this guy, and it didn't broke. I mean, if we just take those wicks, it never broke. It also didn't take out the high. So yeah, we retained actually bullish on the daily, but then the 4-hour time frame was absolutely insane, right? So break down, break up, down. You can see again, one day down, one day up, one day down, one day chop, right? And then all of a sudden interest rate come in and we would just massively explode. Okay, so I mean, what can we do? Well, we had a break of structure up right now, and again, this is your where is it? Yeah, I mean, this one is tough. I can either take this one or you can just take some of those wicks right there. You have like this overall, let's be very conservative. You have this overall level of demand, which is probably like a daily demand zone, right? And again, you can either try to take a short right now against the trend, or you can wait for a new pullback, high, and then just follow new ranges, because I do not expect for the market to pull back all the way down. Okay, so that's GJ, massive bullishness. I would suggest you follow that trend. Follow that trend. It's really bullish. It's really nice. And yeah, GU is also looking bullish. So let's see if they're going to sustain that bullish bias. Looking good. Let me know, guys, if you're going to long the GBPs. Let's have a look at Goldie. So in terms of the weekly time frame, I always first of all look at the overall direction. It is bullish. And then I look at the candle, right? And the candle is an inside bar. So there is the mother candle high, mother candle low. And usually the next week what happens is we're having a breakout. So once again, to remind you guys, if you just came to watch gold, we're having interest rate decisions, a lot of them next week. Okay, so usually the week before and the days before the interest rate, we're gonna have a chop. So if you actually jump on gold right now on the daily time frame, well, the daily kind of, yeah, this is the weekly right there, but the daily broke up, the daily broke down. So technically the daily is kind of bearish right now, but you can see like for quite a couple of days, I mean for pretty much April, we have been chopping around. Okay, so no clear direction. So I do think we're waiting for the interest rate. And again, which direction is it going to potentially go? Well, the overall macro direction, which is bullish, but again, we just never know. And then guys, I'm just going to drop to the foliage. I mean, look at this. When you open this chart, what makes sense? Well, nothing. I mean, at this time right there, it made sense. Or bearish. Right, then again, this was the high. The market came on and took out the high. Okay, took out the high. Then what caused this high to be taken? Well, according to me, it's actually this guy. Right, it's not this. This is a nice base, but it's not a valid higher low according to me. The market then came into the demand that caused this break of structure right there. Right, so again, is this a break? Is this a liquidity grab? We don't know. To me, it wicked up, it's a break. It comes in, holds from the demand, tries to push up. Did it break the high? No. So right now what we're doing is we're just chopping around. So what I would just simply say, guys, is step aside from gold, wait for the interest rate decision for the US to come out, and then just jump into it. Okay? We have been chopping around for quite some time right now, especially like, especially this week and last week. I mean, you can see that there's no clear direction, just wicks up, wicks down. On the 15-minute, it's also pretty hard. I mean, it also TCs up, TCs down, like one day is bullish, one day is bearish. You can always get intraday opportunities, right? Just considering like the daily ranges and just like considering manipulation, like Asian range, London highs and lows. You can always get trades, but again, in terms of overall macro direction for trending markets, we do not have it right now. So what I suggest is we wait for this kind of breakout somewhere or for the manipulation, and then we strike with more confidence. So let's see, that's my view on gold. Let me know what you guys think. It's personally like just a big range, so don't tell me where it's gonna go. Let's just wait to see, and then we're gonna strike. Let's have a look at the indices, which are very interesting. I mean, they keep pushing up, and what we have right now on US 30 is another kind of bullish week. Like last week was slow down. This week we kind of made a very nice low, and then we closed really bullishly. So again, US 30 is the only pair that has actually shifted bullish on the weekly. Okay, and pretty much like the weekly high is here, that is supposed to be broken. Then dropping onto the daily time frame, it was pretty tough. I mean, you can see there had two massive days of massive bearishness that came on and kind of took out this low right there. So maybe some of you are going to come out and say maybe this is imbalance. We have even down there. So again, I don't know. It just came on and took the liquidity right there, and then it just massively responded and came on and attacked the high. Okay, so definitely looks good. I mean, definitely looks good in terms of the daily. But yeah, and then in terms of the 4-hourly time frame, I did not take anything because again, it was not clean. And if you follow the 4-hourly time frame only on US 30, I mean, yeah, pretty much your lower high is all the way up here, or maybe even this one. So you can see, yeah, this right there was a valid supply. I had my mentor of the Fanatic way, the Fanatic team. He actually was taking shorts right there, writing them down on Friday. But then you can see like New York comes in and we just massively popped. And we made the new break of structure up. So this is really good, is because we're having a 4-hourly reversal to the upside right now, and that is our major high low formation. Okay, so this is how I currently look at the market. I'm bullish. We are also extended, just we are on the majority of the pairs right now, but we also took out massive daily liquidity. So again, a lot of things could happen, but again, what I'm just gonna say is bullish market. I'm gonna be looking for longs if provided. Right now we're in a push phase, so we'll look for the pullback. Or you can, of course, keep following the market until you're wrong on your minor time frame, which for me is the 15. So let's see, bullish bias on your studio right now. Where is it going? I don't know. Is it gonna flush? I don't know. So we just keep following the trend, right? Nasdaq as well. So it came into this supply. So this is weekly supply right there. Coming in, reacted, and right now it's coming in hot again inside. Okay, daily time frame. I mean, the daily was always bullish. The daily was always bullish from here. I'm taking these two candles. Of course, you can take one. The one didn't tap, right? So this is why you always want to take bigger zones. So you have a tap of your zones, and then you can work on a lower time frame to get your entry. So right now the daily broke up. That's our daily higher low formation. And then dropping onto the 4H. Well, yeah, 4-hourly is slightly bit different is because we also have a breakout structure here. And that is our 4-hourly demand zone. Okay, so daily demand zone is down there. 4-hourly demand zone is right here. So what is going to happen? We don't know. Okay, so as long as we remain bullish on the 4H, I'm going to keep going long. Yes, we are in a weekly supply, but I don't see it holding. I mean, we came on right there and we reacted. So is this like just a reaction fake and right now coming in to take liquidity in order to flush? Or is the market just gonna turn bullish? Again, we don't know. So keep following the trend. To me right now, it definitely looks better. I mean, last week we had this and I told you guys, like, don't trade this. Right? Don't try to stay like inside this whole range right there. Because again, as I told you this week, like my team trading NASDAQ, they took a couple of stop losses on it, right? Why? So this is when intuition also comes in. Is this a good market to trade right now? No. And even if your trading plan provides, I mean, just judging by the conditions, you're probably going to have stop losses. Right now, when momentum is introduced, it looks clear, right? That is the time to potentially strike. So let's see if we're going to have something on NASDAQ. I'm personally bullish bias. And yeah, I mean, all the indices are going long right now. You can also see, just keeping it extremely simple, there is a breakout structure up here. There is our 4-hourly demand zone on S&P. That is our 4-hourly higher low formation. So I'm long bias, right? Weekly time frame is potentially going to tap us inside the supply and maybe take out this high as liquidity. Daily time frame kind of, yeah, shifted up, shifted down. Right now it's shifting up again. So textbook manipulation. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen. I'm bullish right now, potentially targeting this high, which is like this liquidity high. Why is this liquidity high? Well, because this high failed to cause anything to the downside. You can see this high right there. It was actually liquidity, although it actually caused the breakout structure. So we can see that kind of the sells do not prevail, which is why I think eventually we're even gonna maybe even take out the weekly high. So let's see. But that's the indices, bullish bias. So if you're looking for something better for it to be long, right? Crypto, you can buy the dip right now. I'm joking. But yeah, I mean, you can see right now, if you just look at the weekly and the daily time frame in terms of structure, you can just be buying dips like from demand zones or for imbalances, and you can be holding some cryptos. I mean, yeah. Ethereum also looks like a little bit of an uptrend, but Bitcoin is definitely the rocket. I mean, if you compare both, they both move the same. But Bitcoin had this kind of drop below as a manipulation, and since then we have been expanding massively. So let's see. I'm not buying into it right now. I have a little bit of holding right now, but again, it's just... it's nothing compared to what I lost. So that's crypto. But I like indices more right now. Let's see how they're gonna also develop after the interest rates next week. So I want to wrap it up here, guys. Hopefully I kept it short and simple. Hopefully you are ready right now for the next week. Let me know how your week went. Did you take any setups? How did you finish this week? How did you finish the month? What did you learn this week? And what are you looking forward to next week? And what are your favorite setups? Again, keep in mind, interest rate decision, a lot of the pairs are right now chopping, so they're probably gonna have like big ups and downs. So let's see. I wish you an amazing weekend if you're watching this during the weekend, and I wish you an incredible week ahead. And again, just stay patient, because with all those interest rates, might not be a great time to trade. So traders, talk to you on Tuesday.